Hi, Kieran here again. This is a video about this music tag, which is basically Leighton Way started giving his favorite songs, and then to Got That Funk, he gave his favorite songs, and I'm now responding to Orygyn, who gave his 3 favorite songs, and also commented on all the favorite songs of the other people. So here I've given I'm actually going to give you my top 10 songs, but you can take my top 3 as my response to this business. Yeah, I try to do more serious videos, but I found myself, since I watched your video in particular, and also the videos before then, because I follow you, Orygyn, and Got That Funk and Leighton Way, so I've been quite interested in thinking of what my top 3 songs would be ever since I saw that. But I've probably taken it too long to respond, so I don't know if many people are going to watch my video. Actually, I think about a year ago, I made my playlist of my top 10 songs and top 10 films. They're on my YouTube page. I don't know if anybody's actually watched them. But since then, I've sort of chopped and changed a little bit in my top 10. One issue it caused me to change the list a bit was this idea of doing these long sort of because I'm into prog rock as well, but I'm not sure it's a long song is really comparable with a short song. But basically, I started off putting "Supper's Ready" by Genesis as my favourite. Then I had second thoughts. I thought maybe that's not comparable with other. Like a little song like Dancing Queen or whatever. Oh, some kids screaming in the building now. But then on second thoughts I thought somehow it is comparable. I can sort of compare a 20-minute song and say, well, maybe that's better or worse than a short song. What I think I can't compare very well is instrumentals with songs with words. I'm not sure quite why, but particularly if you combine a really long song with being an instrumental. I mean, I just find I can't really take Dancing Queen and then take side 1 of Tubular Bells and say which is better. They just seem a little bit too different to me. Okay, so start with my reactions to the 9 songs that have been put forward in this tag thing so far. I think the first one was Leighton Way was called Motion City Soundtrack. I think that was the name of the band, actually. Unfortunately, no offense to Motion Sickness Soundtrack, whatever they call it. I just found it totally unmemorable. It wasn't super heavy or super melodic or anything. It just, unfortunately, it didn't do anything hook-wise for me. So I only kind of listened to it once. I think that I can tell if I like a song on first listen usually. I think what normally happens is if I listen to a song that I'm gonna find good, I kind of prick up my ears. I don't actually get off on it at all, but I can just tell it's gonna be the song I can get off on. And then when there's like a second, third listen and so on, I start really getting pleasure, proper pleasure out of it. But I think if something doesn't prick up my ears at all on the first listen, I don't think it's got much chance. Maybe that's a bit of a silly attitude to have. But anyway, Leighton Way's second song choice was My Nails, My Leather, or something like that by Stepdad. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. It was quite melodic, and I quite enjoyed that one. Quite like the video. There's a bit of humour going on with that band. Actually checked out some of their other videos, and I particularly like this song called "Will I Ever Dance Again," and the video for that is really good fun. I'll put a link to that one below because that's the best new music I've got out of this tag for me. Third one by Leighton Way was The Hives, and I've forgotten the name of the song. I am familiar with The Hives. I did mix them up a bit with The Vines. For me, it's just it's this kind of punk music I don't really like very much. I like kind of more mainstream kind of rock and pop, and I do also like a bit of prog rock, but I'm a bit selective in which prog rock I like. So for me, it's just a noise. This stuff, I'm afraid. I'm not a connoisseur of punk music. Maybe if you really like punk, the Hives are really where it's at. I don't know. By the way, I don't really believe this music is very. This is music and taste is for the most part just taste. I don't see much objective you can say about it. I mean, I think Orygyn, you did a superb video about this issue of what you can say objectively about music and what you can't, and yeah, I'm sort of pretty much with you, I think. I don't. I think you mentioned something about you seem to stress originality and making new musical forms and stuff as being an important, objective, good thing you can say about music, or a given piece of music. I think you might be right. I think if somebody makes a piece of music that a certain number of people like, and it's completely original as well, then that seems to be an extra achievement rather than a piece of music that's very similar to previous stuff, but also the same amount of people sort of like. On the other hand, I'm slightly worried that if people sort of innovate too much or change the formulas too much, then we're going to end up with a new genre of music which may end up meaning that all the other music suddenly becomes old-fashioned and we're kind of spreading ourselves out genre-wise, meaning that there's less of the old music for people to sort of like, if that makes sense. On the other hand, I have no idea about this, but maybe music does innovate in the sense that over time it sort of evolves, and the music we all have now is actually better in terms of satisfying our needs than the music of, say, 50 years ago. I have no idea if that's true or not. It's like evolution. Are we all the animals of today, like better adapted than the ones of like 50, 100 million years ago or something? I think that might be true, but with the music thing, it's hard to say. I imagine people in the 50s sort of enjoying their music as much as we enjoy ours. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to ramble too long. It's 8 minutes already. Mr. Got That Funk responded with 3 prog rock songs. I mean, Queen aren't normally regarded as prog rock, but I think the album A Night at the Opera was prog rock, and pretty superb prog rock, if I can pretend it's subjective for a second. The Prophet song, yeah, I really like the Prophet song. It's probably not my favourite song, but yeah, I really think it's super cool, and that bit you were talking about Orygyn where it goes a cappella is cool. Yeah, it's unexpected. That's what I quite like about prog rock, is you just don't know what's going to happen in the next minute or whatever. Anything goes. It's kind of imaginative. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I was brought up in a house where my brothers were into like Yes and Genesis and Jethro Tull and stuff, and by pure coincidence I really like those bands as well. Yeah, I heard, I knew all Leighton Way, all Got That Funk songs already. my favourite Yes songs would probably be one called To Be Over and one called Madrigal, but I really do like those And You and I and Turn of the Century. I think they're great as well. So I mean, those songs might make my top, not my top 100, but they probably make my top 1,000 or something. So they're songs I really like. Okay, yours. No, did I? Yeah, that's okay. That's got that funk stuff. Your choice is Orygyn. Unfortunately, I don't really like classical music that much. I really like violin background stuff. As you see from my top 10, loads of those songs have got strings in the background, about half of them or more. Songs like Eleanor, Rigby. It's just all chamber music apart from the singer. But I'm not that into classical music. But beyond that, also I really don't like this heavy metal much. I mean, I quite like songs like Since You've Been Gone or whatever. But when it comes to this really yelling sort of voice that kind of Geddy Lee and the bloke from Muse and stuff do, I think for whatever reason, I'm not claiming there's any objectivity in this really. It's just not a style probably. I was brought up on it a bit actually, like Rush and stuff, but I don't know why. I don't like it so much. Even Freddie Mercury, I think, kind of yells it out a bit too much for me. I prefer like these sort of subtle singers like Peter Gabriel and people who have like really nice voices, but are singing in a more like you talk, where you can hear what they're saying and stuff. I think that a lot of that is probably just purely a matter of taste. I can't really justify that. I'm actually very choosy in terms of voices. I don't like there's certain kinds of American accents you get on like songs like a whole genre of bands like what they call Green Day, and is it Blink-181 or someone that Leighton Way mentioned, and those bands all sing in this certain sort of American accent, and you get British bands emulating it as well, and I don't like that style of singing very much. And I can see like a Green Day song might be a great melody, like I think a song called Good Riddance is really excellent, I think. But I still don't quite like the maybe it's not, Green Day sing a bit more British-ish actually, don't they? Maybe I'm thinking of this Blink-181. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, your three songs. Yeah, I'm not so into the old heavy metal and not so into the classical music. The heavy metal's got this kind of gruff singing, as I said, but it also has this heavily distorted guitar thing, which I'm also not really into. But I think with the Apocalypta song, I don't pronounce that. Anyway, I'm embarrassing myself now. I don't have any editing software, so I'm not going to take anything out of this video. I have editing software, but my computer's so poor it just crashes if I ever try to do anything complicated with it. Apocalyptica, that's fine. For me, it was a bit better than the others because at least it didn't have any singing on it. I think cellos sound okay. So yeah, they're quite cool. Though I think looking at their other music, there is some singing going on some of their other songs. I think from what I briefly looked at, about half of their songs seem to be instrumentals and half not. The other ones, I mean, Muse, this Ex-Genesis Symphony or whatever it's called. I mean, I'm familiar with Muse, and I don't, as I say, like the wailing, and it's just musically, I probably don't, not for any objective reason I can put a finger on. It doesn't float my boat compositionally. I'm all for bands doing different things. I mean, I do sort of like respect bands sort of doing 10-minute songs these days. I mean, when let's go back a bit, when Radiohead, you know, they did this